This is for Algebra 1, and this is looking at S1P1. Question number 1, which of these inequalities represent the domain of the graphed function? You need to remember that domain is talking about x. So the first thing you want to do is get rid of the answer choices that have y. So you've got to figure out how far to the left and how far to the right does it go. So it starts here and it ends here. You got to use numbers off the x-axis. We have a -6 and we have a 0. So -6 to 0, -6 to 4. That 4 is wrong. B was the correct answer. Craig's Computer Supply Store sells color ink printer cartridges for $4.99 and black ink printer cartridges for $14.99. Last week, the store sold a total of 27 ink cartridges. If the sales income for those items was $514.73, which of these conclusions is reasonable? You're going to have one of these. This is a system. This is going to have two things. First of all, what were they selling? Well, they were selling color plus black cartridges equals, how many cartridges did they sell? 27. Then you're going to do one that has all of your money. Well, the color is $24.99. So $24.99C plus the number by black was $14.99. So $14.99. B equals the total money you had was $514.73. So you got to figure out a way to solve this. My suggestion would be to pretend that B is y and pretend that C is x. And so get y by itself. And so for your first one, B is equal to 27 minus C. For the other one, you have $14.99. B is equal to 514.73 minus 24.99C. B is not by itself because of that $14.99. It all has to be divided by $14.99. So you would put all of this in your calculator. You would want to go to y equals. And so y1 is going to be this. y2 is going to be this. So looking at your calculator, go to y1, clear it out, go to all of them and get them all cleared. At y1, it's going to be 27 minus c. 27 minus, and we'll just use x. At y2, it's going to be open parentheses, 514.73 minus 24.99x. You're going to find where they cross. Anytime you've got one at y1 and y2, you end up going second calc 5. So second calc 5, give it a minute to draw. Enter, enter, enter. And if it gives you this error, it means it can't see it. So go to zoom, number 3 for zoom out, enter. I can see where they cross now, so we'll go again, and we'll go second, calc 5, enter, enter, enter. And x is 20.3 and y is 6.6. So x is 20.3 and y is 6.6. Remember that y is your black and x is your color. And I want to look at that again for just a second because I'm not really sure those numbers make sense to me. I don't know that we would have sold more color than black, but it's possible. We have 27 minus x, and we have, if you look at y2, what did I forget to do? After I closed parentheses, I needed to divide by 14.99. You got to look and see if things make sense. So now we're going to do this again. Second calc 5, let it draw. Enter, enter, enter. And we have 11 and 16. So color is 11 and black and white is 16. Okay? It's always good to look at the answers you get and see does it make sense. I knew that I wouldn't sell a whole lot more color cartridges than I would black and white. So that's why I knew to go back and check. So now we know our numbers. There were more black cartridges than color sold last week. Black was 16, color was 11, so yeah, that works. there were more color cartridges than black sold. Color was 11, black was 16. Nope, that does not work. The total sales, not including tax for color, was $3.99. Well, we had 11, so let's go to our home screen. 24.99 times 11 is $274.89, so that's not right. The total sales, not including tax for black, was $164.89. Well, black was $14.99 times, whoops, go back over here, times, they said they sold 16, and we get 238.4, so it's not that one. So A is the answer. Just because A looked right, it did not mean circle it and go on. You should always check your other answers. Next problem. They've given you an equation, and they say if the temperature is 20 degrees Celsius, what is Fahrenheit? That means 20 has to go into the C part. So 20 is equal to 5/9 times F minus 32. Everything before the equal goes to Y1. Everything after the equal goes to Y2. So go to your Y equal, clear it out. Y1 is going to be 20. Y2 is going to be 5 divided by 9, open parentheses, x minus 32. Do not use the letter they have. Anytime you're at Y equal, you need to use x. Second, calc 5. Give it time to draw. May or may not give us the answer because I don't see where it crosses. And it doesn't, so I'm going to have to go and zoom out. And now I can see where it crosses, so I go second, calc 5 again. Enter, enter, enter. And x is 68, so 68 is your answer. So when you put it into your answer thing, if you wanted to do plus and then circle, fill in the plus, that was fine. And if you wanted to do 68 here at the beginning and go down here and fill in 6 and fill in 8, that's fine. It does not matter if you do the plus. It matters when it's negative, but if it's positive, you don't have to do it. You can do the 68 on any 2 consecutive boxes. It could be at the beginning, in the middle, at the end. You do not have to fill in the other boxes. Number 4, they've given me a point and they've given me 4 equations. Okay, 1 point doesn't get me anywhere. So what do you do when you see an equation? You put it into y equal and you look at your table. And remember, we're looking for negative 10, 6. So we're going to go to y equal, and we're going to clear everything out. And we're just going to test the first one, 3/5 x, so 3 divided by 5x. We're going to go to our table, and we're going to go to where x is negative 10. I've got weird stuff starting on my table, so I'm going to go second and table setup and tell it to start at negative 10. So then I look at my table, negative 10, negative 6. Is that what I want? No, because I want my 6 to be positive. So now we're going to check B, which is 5/3 x. So 5 divided by 3x. Go to my table. If x is negative 10, I have negative 16.7. So B is not correct. So we'll try C. And that is negative 3 divided by 5x. And go to your table. And negative 10, positive 6. It looks good. That does not mean mark that answer and go on. It means mark it as I think that's it, but let's try the last one. So you go back to y equal, and you clear it out, and it's going to be negative 5 divided by 3x. Go to your table. X is 10. I have 16.67. So your answer is C. All you're doing is looking at the calculator for this. Number 5, they've given me a table, and they want to know what it's going to be at 10,000. If they're going up consistently, you could just extend your table, but I go up from 3 to 4 to 6. I skipped one there. So my suggestion is when they give you a table with points, that you go to stat. So take your calculator, go to stat, edit, and at L1 you're going to have 3,000, 4,000, 6,000, 7,000. At L2, you're going to have negative 4.5. You're You're going to have negative 11. If you want to put the 0.0, you can. Doesn't matter. You're going to have negative 24. And you're going to have negative 30.5. Then you're going to go stat, calc, 4 for linear regression. And you've got y is equal to negative 0.065x plus 15. You're using these numbers right here. Negative 0.065, negative 0.0065x. That should be a negative. Plus 15 because that was a positive. Okay, that's what your equation is. So now you go back to your calculator and you go to y equal. And you put that in there. Negative 0.0065 x plus 15. And we want to know what it's going to be at 10,000, so I'm just going to go and tell it to start at 10,000 rather than trying to arrow through it. Second graph is my table, and I have negative 50. So your answer on this one is D. Looking at the next one, which of these represent a function? Remember, to be a function, x does not repeat. Okay, don't look at their choices yet. Look at these and say, is it a function or no? If it is, put a check. If it's not, put an X. 0, 1, 3, that's good. 0, 2, 4, that's good. 0, 3, 3, my 3 repeats, that's bad. 0, 0, 0, remember all we're looking at is the X value, so that's bad. So 1 and 2 are functions. So A looks good, C looks bad, D looks bad, B looks bad. Your answer is A. A population of 4,000 sea otters decreases by 2.5% per year. At the end of 7 years, there will be about 335. Which of these functions can be used to determine the number? They gave you equations, okay? If they give you equations, put them in at y equal. Okay? 400 is in the equation. 2.5 is in the equation. Okay? 7 years. Years is going to be your t, your time. And we need to get 335. So go to y equal, clear it out, and we're going to say 400. Actually, you don't even have to do the y equal. Go to your home screen, clear it. And you're going to say 400 times 2.5 rooftop 7. Because I'm just putting 7 in for t. And I get 24. I do not get 335, right? So that one's not it. 400, open parenthesis, 1 plus 0.025, close parentheses, rooftop 7. And I get 475. So it looks to me like neither one of these are, whoops. Wrong place for me to mark that one. It looks to me like neither A nor B is correct. So now we're going to move the calculator and we're going to try C and D. So we're going to say 400, open parentheses, 0.025, close parentheses, rooftop 7. And that looks way wrong. 400, open parentheses, 1 minus 0.025, close parentheses, rooftop 7, and finally 335. Okay, so your answer is D. You were just putting them into your calculator and seeing which one worked. Last problem, the relationship. We don't have to read this. Okay, look at your graph and read the question. Which of these best represents the range? Okay, we know that range is talking about y, so we've got to mark on the y-axis and pull our numbers from there. So it looks like we've got about a 7 and we've got about a 18. First of all, range is y. Get rid of the problems that talk about x. So does it go from 7 to 18 or 0 to 18? Well, we marked right here and said 7. C is your answer. That's the end of S1P1.